Hello there guys, I'm back home from Goa and guess what? The first video that I'm going to put out is this mega epic battle showdown of the best selling models in the 150 to 160cc category. This is the video that you guys have been requesting for, and as we are about to step into the year 2020, I believe this video is much needed to help you make up your mind much more easily. So in this video I'll be listing out all the pros and cons of each of these motorcycles, and it will be in a top 5 countdown kind of a format to make things a lot more easier to understand. So this is the epic showdown or epic battle of the 150 to 160cc category motorcycles that are currently available for sale in our market. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get started with this video. So before we go ahead with this mega shootout of the 150 to 160cc category motorcycles, here's a note for all of you fanboys out there. Please note that I'm a huge fan of these machines, and the countdown and the positioning is just to help you guys make up your mind much more easily as to which bike fits the bill for you according to your own riding style and your own riding preferences. So with all the formalities clear, let's head straight into this Comparo review. Coming in at number 5 is the new Gixxer Street Fighter from Suzuki. This is the new Suzuki Gixxer Street Fighter, a much needed upgrade to the super slick Street Naked from Suzuki, which made it a force to reckon with and actually came across as a worthy competitor to take on the likes of the Yamaha FZ. Trying to take on Yamaha's best-selling champion Street Fighter, Suzuki almost tried to match step to step in terms of features and performance by offering a light and sporty engine, a wide 140 section radial rear tire, the best equipped instrument cluster in the entire segment, a sleek and sculpted body structure, and outstanding handling characteristics, which is still considered the best in segment. Now with this new upgrade, Suzuki have tried to intensify the onslaught by offering more modern and radical looks. The front LED headlamp now resembles that of the Ducati Monster to some extent. We get sharper panels and more compact styling, making the bike look more contemporary. The performance remains unchanged however, but the major inclusion is that fuel injection is now standard. So you now have the light and crispy throttle response, clean acceleration, and superb refinement. The SEP or Suzuki Eco Performance engine uses 6 sensors, namely the O2 sensor, the intake air pressure sensor, the intake air temperature sensor, the throttle position sensor, the engine temperature sensor, and the crankshaft sensor, all of which work together to give optimized information to the ECM, which accordingly commands the fuel injector to inject precise amount of fuel into the combustion chamber for optimized combustion efficiency, which results in accurate and improved throttle response with higher fuel efficiency. The bike comes with a 140 section radial rear tire, which is the widest rear tire compared to other bikes in the shootout except for the FZ, which also offers a 140 section rear tire. So this results in offering superior road grip even when riding on wet road surfaces. Add to this the chunky 41mm front forks and you have plush ride quality as well as superb high speed stability. So all this is good. So what's bad about the bike, you ask? Well, the first thing that I noticed are the seats. The rider's seat is angled downwards, so each time the rider hits the brake, the tendency of the rider sliding down the seat is far greater. Also, the pillion seat continues to remain quite small, so there's hardly any room for ladies to feel comfortable as a pillion. Also, the power has now gone down when compared to the first gen models. The bike now puts out 14.1 PS of max power as opposed to 14.8 PS earlier. The torque remains the same at 14 Newton meters. We get a 266mm disc up front, which offers good bite, but I would still prefer a larger front disc to match the brilliant handling and performance that the bike has on offer. To sum things up, the bike weighs a mere 140 kgs and the lightweight character of the bike offers a fatigue-free riding experience through the city, and this bike is still the best in terms of offering razor-sharp handling characteristics in this segment. Price is around Rs 1 lakh ex-showroom here in Hyderabad, which makes this around 10,000 rupees cheaper than its fared version counterpart, the Gixxer SF. And the mileage is also good because those who have owned the older Gixxer Street Fighter models have claimed close to 48 to 50 kmpl, which is outstanding in the segment. Now coming in at number 4 is Bajaj Pulse 160 NS, India's most loved and trusted sport bike when it comes to delivering uncompromised sporty performance, ahead of its class features, supreme value and stunning looks. This new model has now been updated with wider tires, which means we get a fatter 120/80 rear tire now, along with a 230 rear disc and of course single channel ABS. Talking about the pros of the bike, first is the looks. The bike looks absolutely identical to the 200 NS, which makes it one of the best looking bikes in the segment, and the red color variant really stands out in terms of offering scorching hot looks. Secondly, this is the only bike in this Comparo to offer a perimeter frame, which is usually featured only in higher segment sport bikes. The perimeter frame offers superb agility and nimble handling characteristics, making it light and easy to flick it around in city traffic. But where this bike really shines is that it offers the longest wheelbase of 1370 mm when compared to other bikes in this Comparo. So this translates into best in class high speed stability. Also, the bike gets a 4-valve engine which allows the engine to breathe easy at higher RPMs. So this results in the bike revving cleanly all the way to the red line without any snatchy or snappy behavior. Now talking about the cons of the bike, we do now get wider tires, which means the cornering stability is good, but I would prefer to see a 140 section radial rear tire like what the Gixxer and the FZ have on offer, because Bajaj is always known to be ahead of the game in terms of offering class leading features and the best bang for the buck. So I just hope with future upgrades they offer a radial rear tire, which would further take the overall performance of this bike to a whole new level. Secondly, the braking is good with single channel ABS on board, but again we only get a 260 mm front disc, and with the Yamaha FZ offering a class leading 282 mm front disc, I would love to see a larger front disc on the Pulsar 160 NS just to make it a complete package when it comes to delivering stellar sporty performance. Also, I'd like to see 41 mm front forks, which would offer a better front end feel and further add more stability to the bike. Now the price is another major USP of the Pulsar 160 NS, because this is indeed the most affordable bike in this entire shootout. So the Pulsar 160 NS is certainly the value for money proposition, because it is nearly 6,000 to 8,000 rupees lesser than the other bikes in the shootout, but yet offers the second best power figures in the shootout and brilliant handling courtesy of the perimeter frame. The mileage for this bike, as per feedback received from owners, is close to 45 kmpl, which is still pretty reasonable considering the kind of sporty performance and superb agility and handling that this bike has on offer. Next, coming in at number 3, we have the champion of the 150cc segment, the Yamaha FZ. And just when we thought it was about time that the FZ got a major upgrade, lo and behold, we got the FZS version 3.0 following the blockbuster success of the R15 version 3.0. Now, Yamaha is a brand that is obsessed with quality and reliability and durability, and the kind of following Yamaha enjoys here in India is just phenomenal. People just love Yamaha motorcycles right from the RX100 days, and when Yamaha rose from the ashes with the FZ and the R15, it almost felt like the king had returned to reclaim his throne. So the FZ version 3.0 is a tailor-made macho street fighter made to thrive in urban conditions and targeted mainly at riders who are looking for a bike to use for city commutes. The FZS version 3.0 now comes with a spacious seat, and the new single seat layout offers more room for the pillion and makes it easily accessible for ladies, which also kind of makes it an ideal family bike. However, when you look at the specs, they are extremely modest. The bike gets a 2-valve air-cooled fuel-injected 149cc BS6 engine now, which makes it the first in its segment to get the BS6 update. I will be reviewing the BS6 model soon. The max power is 12.4 PS at 7,250 RPM, and max torque is 13.6 Newton meters at 5,500 RPM. We get a 5-speed gearbox. But where the FZ version 3.0 really compensates for the lack of power is with its ultra lightweight body structure. Even after the BS6 update, it weighs a mere 137 kgs, which makes it the lightest bike in the shootout. So this results in a fatigue-free riding experience while riding through the horrible city traffic. Also, the engine feels nice and peppy with good initial pickup and a strong mid-range, which has always been the forte of the FZ bloodline. You can cruise at 80 kilometers per hour, and the best part is that despite the bike being incredibly lightweight, it feels extremely stable even at speeds of around 80 to 85 kilometers per hour, which talks about the engineering prowess of Yamaha. The low seat height of 790 mm makes it more easily usable for shorter and average height riders. Also, we get the best in class and largest in class massive 282 mm front disc and single channel ABS as standard, which offers superb stopping power. The fuel injection system on board optimizes combustion efficiency and thereby offers decent mileage while also offering superb engine refinement, crisp throttle response, and smooth acceleration. Further enhancing the overall stability and offering a superb front end feel and plush ride quality are the chunky 41mm front forks. So all this looks pretty good, but what are the cons? First of all, I would prefer more power obviously, but again this is always a trade-off between power and mileage, because more power means less mileage and more mileage means less power. So Yamaha knows that ours is a nation that is obsessed with mileage, therefore they've gone ahead with the latter combo. Secondly, I think the speedo console could be better equipped with a gear position indicator and other info like what the Gixxer speedo has on offer. In terms of mileage, I think we can expect close to 45 kmpl from this bike in city conditions. The ex-showroom price here in Hyderabad for the FZ version 3.0 is rupees 1.02 lakhs, which is pretty reasonable. So coming in at number 2 is the new Suzuki Gixxer SF 155. Now this bike was the winner last time I did this mega shootout. So before we find out who dethroned this still outstanding of a proposition, let's spend some time analyzing this new upgrade that the Gixxer SF received this year. Styling wise, this is undoubtedly the best looking bike in the shootout. The facelift has resulted in sharper styling, perfectly sculpted tank, meticulously crafted fairing panels, and a sleek tail section, which makes the Gixxer SF the only faired bike currently available in the 150 to 160cc segment in this price range, and it looks absolutely stunning in the MotoGP edition paint scheme. Of course, we now have the Hero Extreme 200S around the same price range, but that falls into the 200cc category. Now coming back to the Gixxer SF, the performance remains more or less the same as its predecessor. The only gripe though is that the power is now down to 14.1 PS when compared to 14.8 PS of the older model. The max torque however remains the same at 14 Newton meters. However, the first gen model used to weigh a lot less at a mere 139 kgs, but this new bike weighs 146 kgs at least on paper. Now I say that because you don't really feel the weight when you're riding this bike. It still feels like an ultra lightweight compact sport machine that offers a perfect blend of practicality, usability and versatility. It can take you to office on weekdays. It would offer great stability on the highways when you go out for your weekend rides. But now with the inclusion of the clip-ons, this bike is an absolute blast if you choose to attend a track day event in your city. On a short, technical track, a good rider on this bike can even beat a higher capacity motorcycle. That's how good the handling and the precision of this bike is when it comes to riding dynamics. The chunky 41mm front forks offer a superb front end feel. The engine is peppy and responsive and smooth, devoid of any vibrations. The in-gear acceleration is great, giving you adequate power to perform those quick overtakes. Fuel injection is now standard, so the acceleration is clean, the throttle response is more instant and crisp, and the power delivery is ultra smooth. The clutch feel is a lot lighter, suspension is perfectly damped to offer a comfortable ride through the city, and it holds up well to offer good stability as the speed builds up. The fat 140 section radial rear tire offers superior road grip even on wet surfaces. The chassis is absolutely brilliant and the handling is like a benchmark in this segment. So what could be the cons, you might ask? Well, the fairing is not tall enough to fend off the wind blast. It does look hot in terms of styling elements, but with the windscreen being a little too short, you can't really tuck behind it to fend off the wind blast. The first gen fairing was the best in terms of offering superb wind protection and also had perfectly sorted out aerodynamics. Secondly is the power. I know with the emission norms kicking in, power will be given last priority, but still it is sad to see that power is having to be sacrificed for the greater good of saving the environment. Thirdly, though this is far more affordable than the likes of the R15 version 3.0, which is almost like a completely different breed of a motorcycle, but still the Gixxer SF is the most expensive bike in the shootout, priced at nearly rupees 1.10 lakhs, while all the others are nearly 10,000 rupees cheaper. Also, the seat is kind of angled slightly downwards on the SF, so each time you brake, the rider would slide down the seat, which can get a little annoying in stop and go city traffic. Also, the pillion seat is slightly smaller and positioned slightly higher, so I don't think ladies would feel all that comfortable on this bike. So this is another negative for the bike. Mileage wise, as per feedback received from Gixxer SF owners, they claim around 45 to 48 kmpl, which is extremely impressive for a fared bike in this segment. So the mileage again adds on as a plus for the Gixxer SF. Overall, Gixxer SF is for those who want the best looking bike in this segment with top notch build quality, great versatility, best in class handling characteristics and decent mileage. Now, before we look at the number one bike in this countdown, let me give you guys a few honorable mentions. The Honda Hornet 160 was an outstanding bike when it was first launched, but then its power got diluted a bit to make it more fuel efficient, so it still is a decent bike to buy in this segment and a worthy competitor, but it just feels a little left behind because of the intense competition prevalent in the segment. We also have the Honda X-Blade, which looks a bit robotic, but again it is a decent proposition to buy provided you're okay with the way it looks. Now I have left out the Intruder 155 and the Bajaj Avenger Street 160 from this countdown because those are cruisers and this is predominantly a street fighter battle happening right here. I'll be doing a separate comparo for those bikes, so please stay tuned for that. So now, coming to our new number one who has literally set a new benchmark in this segment by offering best in class performance, TVS Apache RTR 164V with a max power of 16.8 PS at 8000 RPM and a max torque of 14.8 Newton meters at 6500 RPM, and we get a 5-speed gearbox. Everything about the RTR 164V is top of the class, right from their no compromise approach in terms of the design. The design silhouette is identical to the RTR 204V, which is inspired by the Draken concept, one of the best looking concepts to have ever been showcased at the Auto Expo. We get fuel injection on board for optimized combustion efficiency, smooth acceleration and crisp throttle response. We get a 159.7cc oil-cooled engine which offers explosive best-in-class performance. The 4-valve setup comprises of 2 inlet valves and 2 outlet valves, which allow the engine to breathe easy even at higher RPMs, thereby offering consistent performance throughout the rev band without the engine feeling strained. As a result of this, overtaking can be done at will. The exhaust note has always been a hallmark of the RTR series, and the RTR 164V also gets the same bass-heavy exhaust sound, which serves as the perfect background score. The single seat layout offers adequate room for the rider and the pillion, making it more versatile for daily commutes and family use because ladies in the house can access the pillion seat much more easily and they have decent space on offer as well. Also, the RTR 164V offers the best torque figure in the shootout, so we get good pickup right from the word go. Suspension is perfectly sorted out because we get Showa suspension at both ends. The ride quality is comfortable while riding through the city and offers superb high-speed stability while riding through the highways. Brakes are brilliant. We get 270mm pedal disc up front and a 200mm pedal disc at the back. We get single-channel ABS as standard, and braking is indeed confidence-inspiring. Also, the speedo console is as comprehensive as it can get with a gear position indicator, lap timer, top speed recorder and more. So overall, the RTR 164V comes across as the perfect all-rounder, and I'm so proud to see an Indian manufacturer comprehensively outrunning the Japanese giants by sheer determination and grit and passion for perfection and precision. Now, looking at the few cons of the RTR 164V, we only get 33mm front forks from Showa suspension, which are pretty good, but just to set a benchmark, I would have preferred 41mm front forks. Apart from this, maybe we could get a 140 section radial rear tire as well, just to match the competition and also offer superior road grip on wet road surfaces. Well, I guess that's pretty much it. Everything else feels spot on. Also, the mileage has never been the strong point of the Apache series, and having owned an RTR 160 myself, I think we can expect anything around 42 to 45 kmpl from this bike, which is not bad at all. Price is around Rs 1 lakh ex-showroom Hyderabad for the FI ABS twin disc variant, which also ticks the box when it comes to being competitively priced. So the RTR 164V stands as the champion street fighter in the 150 to 160cc category as far as my analysis goes. So this was my top 5 bikes countdown for 2020 in the 150 to 160cc category to help you choose the one that fits the bill for you. I just hope you found this video useful. Until next time, this is Dino saying ciao. Take care, God bless, and ride safe.